America, we have a problem. The opioid drug problem is not merely an issue anymore, rather, a full blown crisis. No age, race, or social class is safe. Thankfully, the media is reporting on this crisis more because the American public need to know what's going on. In a meeting with Mexico's president, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, President Biden downplayed the number of deaths caused by opioids, but did at least acknowledge that there is a serious drug issue. He mentions deepening a relationship with the Mexican government without acknowledging that while the drug is primarily synthesized in China, it's largely smuggled into the U.S. from Mexico. He states, "Today we're going to discuss how we can further deepen our relationship, not only with Mexico, but the Western Hemisphere. This includes our shared security, including our joint action to address the plague of fentanyl, which has killed 100,000 Americans so far." A New York Post article entitled "Biden Botches Fentanyl Death Statistics When Raising Issue with Mexican Press," journalist Stephen Nelson writes, Biden said that fentanyl has killed 100,000 Americans when official data actually linked the potent synthetic opioid to about 196,000 U.S. deaths in 2018 through 2021 alone. Nelson adds, the toll in 2022 is feared to be even worse than the 71,000 fentanyl deaths in 2021, potentially putting U.S. fatalities over 5 years close to 300,000, as the drug is increasingly mixed into non-opioid drugs and counterfeit prescriptions. The scariest part about this crisis is the number of youth that are being impacted. Unfortunately, adults are not the only customers for drug dealers. Many kids and teenagers are finding themselves caught in the throes of opioid drug usage. I say usage because victims don't need to be addicts to succumb to an overdose. Some youth, and perhaps adults as well, are unknowingly taking lethal doses due to mistaking the pills for Xanax or Oxycontin. Moreover, the Drug Enforcement Administration reports that a dose the size of 10 grains of table salt can be lethal. In Spencer Kimball's CNBC article entitled "Drug Overdose Death Among Teenagers Surged During the Pandemic, Driven by Illicit Fentanyl," Kimball reveals that the CDC cites that monthly drug overdose deaths nearly tripled among adolescents aged 10 to 19 from 2019 through 2021. Fentanyl was involved in 84% of the deaths, while opioids of any type were involved in 91%. There was evidence that 25% of adolescent overdose deaths may have involved counterfeit pills. NPR.org reports that street drugs in America got even more toxic in 2022 with the spread of the synthetic opioid fentanyl. Many of those dying are young, under the age of 40. In spite of the bleak news, there does seem to be a silver lining. NPR.org also reports that the number of drug-related deaths has created major reforms regarding drug addiction treatment in the U.S. The changes aim to reduce the stigma around drug addiction as well as improve access to care for users. Moreover, corporate entities are being held accountable for their role in this crisis as well. Major drug companies, distributors, and pharmacy chains reached settlements of opioid lawsuits filed by state and local governments, totaling more than $50 billion. The lawsuits are alleging that opioid manufacturers engaged in deceptive marketing campaigns to promote opioid usage to treat chronic pain while downplaying the detrimental side effects. In addition to the American general public's bout with opioid usage, celebrities continue to indulge in the drug, and musicians continue to cite usage of the drugs in their lyrics. But the opioid crisis proves that using a drug like fentanyl as a party favor may prove to be a deadly mistake. Talking about using it is fun until something devastating happens. A number of celebrities, included but not limited to child actors Tyler Sanders, Logan Williams, Jordan Cashmere of MTV's 16 and Pregnant, rapper Mac Miller, musical icon Prince, famed musician Tom Petty, The Wire actor Michael K. Williams, and Digital Underground rapper Shock G. More recently, sources have informed TMZ that rapper Gangsta Boo's death is believed to be connected to fentanyl use as well. Her brother survived a drug overdose the night she passed, but she was unfortunately not so lucky. Rest in peace to all who have lost their lives to drug usage. Kudos to all health professionals, activists, and journalists who are speaking out against the dangers of opioid drug usage. Be informed and be safe, everyone.